In this episode, we are going to talk about IAM summary and how to set up your AWS account so that you will not have to spend a lot of money while using your AWS to practice. Now, under the IAM summary, if you remember, from the day we started, we talked about IAM users and IAM group. Now, those IAM users that we created, those are your employee, those are your co-workers, those are the people that work within your organization. Anytime somebody creates user in AWS, so it means that those users, they represent individual person, physical person that work in an organization. And anytime you create a user in AWS, you have to group that particular user into a particular group. So you can group that particular user into maybe developer group, maybe auditor group, maybe security group, depending on the kind of work the person is actually doing. And as you have grouped them, you enforce permission. You enforce principle of least privilege, because that is the major purpose of IAM. IAM is just to control what users, what group, and what services can have access to. Then secondly, we talk about policies. Policy in AWS is always written in JSON format. And policy in AWS simply means the kind of permission that users or group can have access to. And I also interpreted how you can understand each permission whenever you see them. Thirdly, we also talk about IAM role. IAM role is usually created on services, so that those services will have principle of least privilege on another services. And that was when I talked about how you can give EC2 principle of least privilege over S3 bucket. For example, you want EC2 to only read from S3 bucket, so you only give EC2 read only permission, so that EC2 will not go to the S3 bucket to delete it or to write something on the EC2 on the S3 bucket. Then for IAM security, we talk about how you can enforce multi-factor authentication on the root account, on the user account, and how you can set password policy. And I also explained how you can set up a strong password policy. Moreover, we also talk about 4 ways in which you can access AWS. Now, the first one I talked about was AWS console. That is when you are dragging and you are dropping, you are clicking on button. That is AWS console. The second one is using CLI. The third one is using SDK. While the fourth one is using Terraform. I explained all these 4. If you have not watched it, you can go and watch it and learn about it. Because as a solution architect, they are what you need. Then moreover, I also told you that before you can use CLI, SDK, and Terraform, you need to create what we call access key. And your access key must be created on the users that have principle of least privilege on your. And lastly, I also talk about how you can audit your AWS account so that you can know what is actually happening inside your AWS account. And that was when I talked about 2 things. I talked about how you can use IAM credential reports and how you can use last access. You can watch this video so that you can remember all these things, because they are what you need as a solution architect. Now, we are now going to go into the practical aspect, where I'm going to show you how you can set up AWS budget so that you will not spend more than $1 in your account. So follow me to the screen. Let's go into it. Okay guys, so let's set up our budget on AWS. So you can see this is my AWS user account. You can see, so this user account is what I created from my root account. If I go to my root account now, if I go to IAM, if I go to user now, I'm going to see that particular account. So you are going to see it here. So this is it. Request, you see. So this request now is the user. This is my root account. You can see. So this is my root account. You can see my root account. Why this particular one? Now what is my user account? So this one was created from this particular root account. So now what I want to do first is that I want to access my billing and cost management from my user account. I want to see if I can access it. So let's click on billing and cost information and cost management. So if I click on it, so you can see now everything is access denied, access denied, access denied, access denied. You can see. So it means that you cannot use user account to access, to access your billing information. You understand? So what you have to do now for you to use user account to access, so you have to use root account. So you log in into your root account like this. Now inside your root account, just come to this place inside your root account now. So go to accounts. Now inside your account now, just scroll down, scroll to the bottom. You see IAM user and role access to billing information. You see it now. Edit it. Then click on this box and update. Now you can see it is showing us this is updated, Abby. Now go back to this user account, then refresh. Let me refresh this page and see. Now you see that we still did not have access to this billing information. The reason is because this particular user is not an admin. Request is not an admin. So let's go back to our this thing. Now, if I go back to IAM in this place, and I go back to the users, I can see these are the users I have. I have request, I have Lakon, this one, I have this. Now, this request now is not an admin. If I go to the group now, let me go to user group. Now you see under group now, I have developer, I have admin. I have one person under developer. You can see. So I have request under developer. It's under developer, not admin. Now, if I go back now, and this admin now, if I click, you see there's nobody under admin. I did not add anybody. So there's no name under admin. So if I had user now and I pick request, I add request into admin. Just watch what is going to see. One user added, meaning I've added request to the admin. Now, if I go back to my user account now, this user account now, if I come back to it and I refresh, now you see that I have access to billing information. So I can use this account now to have access to all my billings. So these are all my billings since I started using this account. So this is last month, and don't be scared. These costs, they are from when I opened this account this year. So they gave me $100, I think $100 or $200. So it is out of the money that they are estimating that they are removing. The highest I've spent on this thing is nothing less than $1. So don't be scared. So that is it. So this is how to use user to access billing and cost information. So from here now you can see your billing, you can see your cost. Now what we are going to do now is we are now going to set up our budgets. So now we are going to set up our budget. So for us to set up our budget, just go to this left part, then click on budgets. See, click on this budget. Click on budgets. Once you get to this point now, so what you are going to do now is you are going to You are going to create budgets for your account. So just click on create budgets, then leave it as use template. You can see simplified, or you can choose customize. Then pick zero budget. You can see create a budget that notifies you once you spend exceeding 0.01. So once whatever all the services you own, any kind of service, whether IC2 or IDS, any kind of service that you own that you are spending more than this amount, they are going to notify you on your Gmail. They are going to get notified. So you can name it my zero spend budget. You can see it, or you can give it any name that you feel like giving it. Then here you put your email. So let me put my email. .com. So now I put my email. So you can see you will be notified via email any spend above this. You see it now. Then move down, then click on create budget. So automatically I've created this budget. You can see. So once my budget exceeded this amount, they are going to notify me straight away. So that is